The other day I was staring at my kitchen and just remembering just old memories from when I was a little growing up with my family here. And just about how many changes this house has gone through. Like, this kitchen doesn't even look how it used to when I was little. Like, there used to be a wall that stuck out all the way over here, cramped it up, and there was like a wooden bench that like wrapped around the corner. These windows were a lot smaller. It got really hot in the summers, and we had a little wooden table there. And me, my sisters, and my dad and my mom would all sit here on Sundays for some bread and choco with cheese. And my dad would sit at one end, have his newspaper, be like sipping, chewing mad loud, doing a little burp. and I remember like also that he would stay sitting there. If there was any meal that I wasn't finishing, he'd stay sitting there and he'd say, I can't get up until I finish everything on the plate. And I was a stubborn kid, so I felt like I could always outweight him. But he was just as stubborn, if not more than me. So it'd be hours. He'd still be chilling like it was nothing, like comfortable. It wouldn't bother him. Same thing with the homework. He would, whenever I was like falling asleep on my homework assignments or my math homework, but like I couldn't finish it, he would stay sitting there and he wouldn't get up until I finished. And he would guide me, but he would never give me the answer. It always make me like force me to actually like have to work through that, even if like I felt like my brain stopped working. I remember even further when I must have been like only a couple years old, maybe a baby, and I was playing with a toy in one of the bedrooms, and it fell far back under a bed and I couldn't reach it. And I was trying, but I couldn't reach it, and my mom noticed and she called my dad over. And he walked over, and this bed was like some old style, some mega heavy metal and wood and stuff like that. And he went to one side of that, one end of the bed, and he was like, get the toy, come on, get it. And I went and got it. It's probably like a Hot Wheels or a Micro Machine or something like that. And I remember looking up at him at that time and thinking, wow, like my dad is the strongest man in the world. And you think things like that when you're a kid, when you're little. But as you get older, then there comes the disagreements and the feeling like you don't understand each other. And, you know, even feeling like I wasn't cool at all by any means, but I felt like, why is my dad so weird? Like, why is he so weird? Like, why doesn't, like, just embarrassing or embarrasses me, like always saying the corniest jokes to the point where they're not even funny anymore. It's just corny, like, and just, I remember just feeling like we totally weren't on the same page at all when I was a teenager. And then as I get older, I start to see more and more things that I know are like him and in me. And I realized that a lot of the things that I was getting at him for, that like, or maybe that like I thought he could have done better, were things that I noticed I might have trouble with myself as I come into being an adult, and realizing that like he was just trying his best, you know, like, and occasionally he'd tell me stories about some of the things that he'd have to overcome. And that combined with stories from my aunts and uncles who helped paint the full picture of like who my dad was, who he is, and how they all looked up to him, because he was first one from Colombia to come over here to the States and try to just like make a life for himself and like figure it all out. And, you know, he didn't have, you know, the background in Colombia, but when he got here, he engulfed himself into making a career in computer systems for some really big companies. And he worked his ass off to get through there. And then there was, you know, he overcame like a lot of racism in the workplace and a lot of kind of like talking down, condescension, thinking that like he was, you know, just some immigrant dude who like didn't like know what he was talking about. And he's told me stories, and, you know, and how he had the language barrier, and they made him like do presentations in English even when he didn't have the grasp on it yet, and he had to just pull it all off. And like how, you know, he's also has a lot of talents and a lot of things that he's done that he doesn't brag about, and he's never been that type of person. So I know there's so many things that I don't even know still, of accomplishments and things that he's done and talents that he has. Like, you know, one time like he just out of nowhere just sketched my face, just like out of nowhere, just like mad good, like an artist. Or how growing up my uncles would always compete with him trying to be the best at soccer, and he just was, and my dad wasn't even trying to be like a soccer player or nothing like that. And they looked up to him like he was like the golden child kind of from our family, from that generation. And you know, when I was growing up, when I was younger, you know, I'd look at him and like I didn't know any of that. I wouldn't see any of that. I would just think like all the things that just didn't mesh with what I was trying to be or who I was trying to be. And so all of these things together, all these things that he's been through, and all the many things that I'm sure he hasn't told me just because of his style of being, show me who he really is, and the hidden things that he's done for me and my family, and all the while trying his best to be a father, you know, in the mix of just like so much other things. He still ingrained in me certain things when we were all still living together. Like work ethic and being humble about my accomplishments and just kind of moving forward and just getting stuff done, just pushing myself to be the best. And I just realized that that he is the strongest man in the world. So Dad, thank you for everything that you've ever done for me, for the family. I'm thankful for you.